Well, hello there, Libra. It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. Today, we are doing your mid-August reading. So this is good from now until about mid-September. So we'll take a look at the overall energies with the Oracle cards, and then we're going to take a look with the Tarot for any obstacles that might be on your path for the next 4 to 6 weeks, and any advice that Spirit has for you. And if you're enjoying the content that I create, I'd really appreciate it if you would consider like, commenting, or subscribing. I really do appreciate all of your support. Okay, so let's take a look at your cards. Whoa. Okay. Really interesting. We have Navigating by the Stars. Follow your bliss. One of my favorite cards. Now, I want you to see how dark it is. See how the moon is, you know, just a little crescent there. The path is somewhat illuminated, but everything's a little shadowy. You're not quite sure the path ahead. So it's really putting you, because you know you're walking, it's kind of like you're walking at night. You can't see the path clearly. It's about listening to your intuition, really getting into your heart chakra. What, you know, when you're doing something and your heart, you feel light in your heart chakra, then it means, okay, I'm doing something that I truly enjoy, and then just keep doing more of it. It will help you to navigate this path. And then we have prophets and ancient seers, decisions, predictive guidance, predictive guidance. See how the energy of both of these is just really, really intense. I feel like you have something, I'm excited. You have something really big. You may have started on a new path or are starting a new path. And I love this because you have loved ones that maybe have passed. You have angels, spirit guides that are helping guide you at this time. It's really about listening, you know, spending time perhaps meditating or spending time in nature, spending time by yourself a little bit, listening to your heart chakra, listening to your intuition about how to proceed. So let's see. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is beautiful. Unfinished symphony on the bottom. So we're going to look into that. Yeah, after, oh my goodness. And then you come into your own reading. Look at this. We have unfinished symphony. Something that hasn't finished out. It could be a relationship, a creative project, a business, a job. Some situation hasn't completely played out, but it's been making you feel kind of orphaned, abandoned, not worthy, because it hasn't finished. You don't know the finish of this. But this is all coming into balance with your energy here. You know, to be fair, this is the justice energy. So let's see what this is. You know, I feel like for some of you, it's almost as if, you know, to me, I mean, she's looking kind of like, you know, into the stars, into a cauldron or something there. I feel like for some of you, it's about, they're saying about being near water at this time. Perhaps, you know, whether that is a stream, a river, a pond, a lake, the ocean, something about, you know, it's so interesting, and I don't have it right here, or I would show it to you. I have a picture, one of my parents, my mom or my dad, took of me when I was like 5. And there was a lake that we would go to every summer. I have a picture of me sitting on the end of this, the dock, and it wasn't very fancy. It was very rustic, but at the end of this dock, and I was sitting there by myself, and I had a fishing rod, okay? But I was sitting there and I was looking into the water, and I'm telling you, so many times when I'm trying to figure out what's the next step here, I take that picture out and look at it. I'm gonna get teary-eyed because I feel like when I was just 5, I was looking in the water. It reminds me of this, kind of looking in the water, and you know, like foreseeing things in my life, or looking, you know, looking for the path, the answers, something like that. The way that I'm looking in the water reminds me of this. It's kind of like, okay, what's the next step? And I was 5, you know, I guess that was the old soul in me or something. But, you know, I feel as if there is almost that kind of energy of tapping back into, you know, your bliss, your inner child. There's something that you maybe can recollect from a younger age, something that, you know, maybe you have put to the side that you haven't done in a while that brought you a lot of bliss or joy. There's something about tapping into, I think, your inner child. I feel like for some of you, your inner child may feel orphaned at this time, abandoned, because you've gone in a different direction. You know, it's almost like if you looked at yourself like when you were 5 or you know, or whatever, you look at yourself at that age, what was it that you were hoping for? Like if you had been me and sitting at the end of the dock and looking into the water, what were you hoping for at that time? And then asking yourself, okay, where am I now? You know, how far off the path am I from what I was hoping for as a child? Really interesting, because I'm getting like this sadness in my heart chakra, and I really do feel like it's part of bringing yourself into balance by reconnecting to what that little kid in you was wanting out of life, you know. I mean, I was a teacher and I taught everything from grades 3 through 8, but the majority of that was like in 4th grade, you know, teaching 4th graders. And it was always interesting talking to kids about what they wanted in their life in the future. You know, they're 9 and 10, and, you know, some of them want to be sports stars or celebrities, you know, of course at that age. But it's interesting how some of them, I think the older souls of them, you know, would want something, you know, would have like callings, you know, to be missionaries or you know, to climb mountains, or, you know, do something like a little bit out of the box. And I feel like that is something that is calling to you at this time. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, dark thoughts on the bottom. You know, look at this. These two here are so similar in a way. The darkness, you know, the path, not sure where the path is going. And feeling kind of scared about that. There's something about commitment and an increase. So, and great achievement. I feel like you have something really big coming on your path that is going to, you know, we have this unfinished symphony. So this could be, you know, the business that you've launched, but it hasn't taken off, you know, the romance that you've started, but it hasn't gone exactly the way that you wanted it to. It doesn't mean that you're not going to finish this symphony. It's like, I feel as at this time, you're kind of like, I don't know how I get from point A to point B. So let's see what we have here. Interesting energy. Ace of Wands. I think you want a new start, a fresh start. Yeah, you want to find, look at this, victory. Could be dealing with a Cancer because we have Cancer energy here. But you have the 6 of Wands and the Chariot card. I think you want a fresh start with something. You know, and once again, it could be, I feel like it's re-inspiring, reinvigorating something that you already have in your life because you're the unfinished symphony. I'm not sure that you want to go in a new direction. Some of you may, but I feel like you just want victory in what is in front of you at this time that you have been working on. Yeah, it's about going within and looking at what you are doing to hold yourself back. Yeah, because then we have the Justice card again, and then the 10 of Cups after a very big disappointment. Yeah, I think that, you know, it's interesting because you have the 9 of Cups here You've had a disappointment. Things haven't worked out the way that you wanted them to. That's why the symphony is unfinished. It's about, you know, dropping the burden so that you can reach your 10 of cups, you know. It's taking a lot of patience, you know. Yeah. You've had a lot of anxiety about this, but the wheel is turning. The wheel is turning for you. Okay, so I want to go ahead and clarify this. We're going to clarify this present energy because I'll have to say it's very different than the energy that's underneath. So I'm intrigued. See what this is about. Oh, yeah. All right. So I feel like you're working really hard on something. Yeah, Page of Wands, you know, Page of Swords. Either getting a message, sending a message, wanting to restart something. Yeah. We have the 9 of Pentacles and the Chariot again. Really interesting energy. Libra, there's something that I feel like your heart is calling you to. Something that is really important to you. But I feel almost as if you're masking that. You're telling yourself that it's not that important to you when it really and truly is. So, you know, going back to that inner child and then where you are now, what your inner child wanted and then where you are now, there is a disconnect between the two of them. There's something that you really and truly wanted as a child. And, you know, it doesn't have to even be a thing that you want, right? It could be a relationship. It could be a situation that you want, a feeling, an emotion. There's something, you know, that you've disconnected. It doesn't necessarily have to be that you know, say you were young and you wanted to be, you know, a professional football player or, you know, whatever. And now you're kind of like, okay, yeah, well, I'm not going to be it. But what was it? I mean, it's about delving down deep. What was it in your childhood that part of you, your inner child, was fascinated with football, say, okay? Or, you know, being a teacher or a nurse or, you know, whatever it was. What was it? Like if it was a nurse and you're not a nurse now, right? But what was it about nursing that drew you to that profession when you were young? Helping other people, healing, you know, working in an environment where there is a lot of people trying to help other people, you know, caring for others. There's something about that that maybe is missing in what you are doing now. It does not mean that you're going to quit whatever you're doing now and go back to nursing school. It's the feeling, the emotion when you thought about being a nurse. What was it that you can, that's the part that you're missing in your life today. Really interesting way to look at it. So you're kind of blocking, you're feeling, you know, you're feeling like you've made a wrong choice in your life. You know, there's this sense of kind of, you know, not making choices that are good for your heart, because we have the Queen of Cups. This is you loving yourself, filling up your cup. I feel like you're not feeling fulfilled in whatever line of work that you're in or in a relationship that you're in. It's almost as if you're not feeling fulfilled. And for some of you, it could be that you're working too hard, right? Because you're trying to get that sense of fulfillment. So you're kind of like, well, if I work even harder, right, then I'll get that sense of fulfillment. It's about reconnecting. I feel like it's about looking again at the path and understanding that you're not getting the emotional fulfillment from this situation because you're not connecting to the inner child part of you. Yeah, really interesting because, you know, you have blessed, but then look at, we have joyous fun. To me, this is like the inner child wanting to be able to enjoy what you have. You could have acquired a lot of money or a lot of material things. You could have, when you were a child, like thought, oh, I want a lot of things, because maybe you didn't have a lot of things when you were young. So now as an adult, you've built a huge career, you're financially successful, but the thing that you were also missing is that when you were a little kid and you wanted all these things, why did you want those things? You know, maybe you wanted those things because, you know, you felt like your family would have had more joy if you had more material things. You were trying to bring joy to, you know, you wanted to have a joyful family or something like that. Now you realize I've put a lot of effort into getting the material things, but I didn't have any time or energy to put into loving myself or loving the people that are in my life. So it's something like that, about really recognizing, oh, okay, I had a dream that I really have been working on since I was a child, but I lost track of the emotion that I was wanting, you know? You know, when I was a child, I really wanted to be an astronaut. And then I rode a roller coaster and it was like, yeah, that's not going to work. So, you know, one of the things is that one of the reasons I became a teacher was because, okay, I physically and maybe mentally and emotionally am not able to be an astronaut, you know, but I wanted to inspire other of my students to be explorers, you know, whether it is exploring space or exploring our Earth or exploring diseases or whatever. It was, to me, it was the sense of exploring, learning, you know, going beyond the boundaries of what we already know. And I feel like it's kind of like that. I didn't have to be an astronaut in order to do that. Right? I can stay on this earth. There's a lot of things we can explore right here. But it was that sense of exploration that I was really and truly seeking. So it could be something like that for you, because your obstacle right now is time to go. I feel like you're not leaving something. I think you're running to something, which is really interesting with this card. I don't normally get that. I feel like it's not that you're leaving a situation as much as it's almost like, yeah, I got to go get my bliss. It's really like that. I got to go get my joy, my happiness. Yeah. And I feel like there are people, kindred spirits, you know, kindred partnerships. There are people, romantic people or family, friends, co-workers. It's kind of like, yeah, I want to go get my joy, my bliss with, you know, with other people. I want people in my life that, that are excited about it for me, exploring or whatever, you know. Because it's almost as if you're surrendering finally to the journey that you were seeking at a very young age. This is going to open you up to some new lessons. For some of you, it could be opening you up to a whole new spiritual path or journey. And once again, I don't see you like completely overhauling your life. It's almost like a sense of changing your focus in what you are doing, like looking for the joy in what you are doing instead of perhaps focusing on the energy that you're putting into it. It's kind of like focusing on being in your heart chakra, in your love space while you're creating or working, instead of thinking about the overall. Yeah, wow. Ooh, okay. 8 of Cups. Yeah. I feel, you know, 8 of Cups. This is interesting because the 8 of Cups is recognizing that what you have right now is not working. It's not bringing you happiness, joy, fulfillment. So the 8 of Cups is walking your spiritual path to find your 9 and 10 of Cups, your wishes and dreams. It's about recognizing, okay, I've done all this work, but I'm not happy. I'm not fulfilled. So I'm walking towards, okay, my happiness. And that's what I got with this card. Remember, it was like, yeah, I don't think you're running away from something. You're walking towards something. And this, oh my gosh, I did not realize you have, you know, the Four of Wands underneath and the King of Pentacles here. You know, the Four of Wands is the happy family, the stability, celebrating. It can be twin flame energy, you know. You see the happy couple on the roof there. You know, it can symbolize wedding. The King of Pentacles is a very, you know, the King and Queen of Pentacles are the epitome of, you know, the loving couple that stays together long term. You know, they're responsible, reliable, very nurturing to each other, very nurturing to their family and to their home. Yeah, this is what I think you're looking for. You could have gone through a phase where you were kind of like, yeah, I don't need people in my life. I'm good on my own. And now I feel as if you're coming back to that energy of like when we're a child and we want to be surrounded by people we love, because you have the Tower here. I feel like you're having an epiphany. There's, you know, the Nine of Swords and the Seven of Swords there. Recognizing that your own anxiety about opening up your heart, of opening up to your bliss, is holding you back from the true fulfillment, joy, love that the child within you is seeking. It's really, I really feel like this is about inner child. You know, what is your inner child, you know, calling you to do? That's following your bliss. So let's take a look at your, oh my gosh, this is your advice from Spirit. So we have Between Worlds. I feel like that's where you are. The only way you can go into this colorful world is by re-tapping into your inner child and the bliss that your inner child is looking for. You know, for some of you, you could be actually going through somewhat of a, you know, that midlife crisis, you know, where, you know, sometimes we step into doing things, you know, for literally just the fun of them, you know. You know, sometimes, you know, we go a little overboard maybe, but it is a part of, you know, us trying to tap back into that inner child, you know. It may be time for you to, you know, you may have been on a journey of your midlife crisis maybe for some time. You've been, you know, just seeking out pleasure or whatever, you know, trying different options, trying to tap into your inner child. I feel like there is something about really being still and, you know, maybe doing some moon ceremonies or something like that, because it's almost in the stillness, you're going to be able to listen to your heart. You could have been, you know, once again, chasing fun, whatever that is for you, you know, but chasing fun, trying to find that joy and fulfillment in your life. But, you know, when we're going through a midlife crisis, a lot of the things that we do really aren't bringing us that much joy, right? We feel like they are, but then later on, it's kind of like, you know, yeah, why did I do that? You know, we may go through that stage where we, you know, buy, you know, clothes that are totally different hair, you know, different, you know, vehicles, go through the convertible or whatever, the motorcycle, whatever it is, you know. But that is kind of an important phase to recognize. I'm just trying to get back to that inner child feeling, the bliss. You know, when I think about that picture of me as a child fishing, right? I was sitting there by myself near water, you know, when I am searching for my answers. There's a lake near my house. I go to that lake, you know, and I sit in a chair right next to the water. I put my feet in the water and I just stare into the water. It does help me to center and to kind of like go back into that inner child. What is it that I am searching? Because that inner child part of us doesn't have the fear that we learn as we get older, right? The fear of what other people think, the fear of how ridiculous will I look, you know, the fear of failure, the fear of success. So it is kind of interesting. Yeah, when we're a kid, you know. So I feel like it is about tapping back into your inner child. Listening to your intuition, because you have planning and action and magician. This is letting you know that right now you have the magic capabilities, Libra, to bring whatever it is that is going to bring you more bliss, more fulfillment, more happiness. I feel like you think that something has come to an end with that unfinished symphony. You're kind of like, yeah, it's gone as far as it can. No. I think there's something that you have in your life, whether it's your career, your job, a relationship, it's not done. There is more joy ahead in it. Really lovely. So let's see what we have. Four of Swords, Knight of Wands. Yeah, there's that King of Pentacles again, 10 of Pentacles. I think for a lot of you, this is perhaps a relationship that is coming back together, that is going to last a long time. Now, I'm not going to say it's a romantic relationship. It could be, but it could be a family relationship, a friend. It could be a work situation that's coming back together, you know, and is going to last long term. There's something that I think you think is finished, but it's not. It needed some time to heal, right? Because in this time of healing and resting and rejuvenating ourselves, that's where we listen to our bliss, where we can tap into our inner child. And then here you go. It's about making a plan, you know, taking action on your bliss, you know, going forth to bring in the magic. You know, if you think about it, kids love magic tricks, right? And it's kind of like, yeah, when you were a child, what magic did you want to have happen in your life? It's about bringing that back in, because this is, with the King of Pentacles, whatever this is, I feel like for a lot of you, this is more job related, career related, spiritual business related. It is going to bring you lots of financial success. You know, the Pentacles are out here quite a bit. So if, you know, you've started a business or something, you know, you could be working extremely hard, but you're not seeing the financial rewards of it, and you're kind of wondering why, or you're not feeling as fulfilled as you thought you might, you know, with your spiritual business. It's about tapping back into that inner child, you know. What joy were you looking for as a child, you know? And how can you incorporate that in what you're already doing? Once again, I don't think you're leaving something. I think you're trying to add something, bring something in. Okay, what if it isn't true? One of my favorite cards in this deck. The thing you are telling yourself right now, the concrete reasons why you think you don't belong, you can't do it, you won't get there, you're not enough, or it's not for you. What if it isn't true? It's time for a soul chat. Close your eyes. Go near water. Put your hands on your heart and ask the wise one within you. What if it isn't true? What else might be possible? What lie do I need to let go of to reach my soul's truth? Yeah, I think it's about, you know, really looking into your own soul, right? And into your inner child. What is it, you know, that you're really looking for? It's there. To me, it's kind of like, it's right there. The answer is right in front of you. It's recognizing that you are holding yourself back, because remember, you had the Seven of Swords. Recognizing that your own anxiety, your own fears are holding you back from what it is that you're trying to bring in, the magic that you're trying to create in your own life, the fulfillment, the love, the abundance. It's right there. It's as if all you have to do is face this fear, right? And realize that that fear is not true. The fear is not true. You know, you're thinking that it is, but what if it isn't true? Then what? Then what is possible? Yeah, it's possible. It's time. It's time to go get it. All right, Libra. All right, well, I'm going to leave it there. I do wish you much love and light in this situation. I do personal readings, so if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. And I hope to see you again very soon. Much love and light to you. Bye for now.